Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. It's time to set up my bullet journal for the month of November. I feel like October came and went so quickly and we're now fast approaching the end of the year. I'm still recovering from a cold, so I apologize if I do sound a bit congested. I wasn't too sure which theme to use for November, but I ended up choosing the Forest Friends theme from Planning with K. I think this was the last kit I got before I had to stop Patreon for a while, so I did feel a bit nostalgic looking at this kit. I believe this theme was inspired by lumberjacks, so there are a lot of plaid patterns throughout this kit. This is the freebie sheet. As you can see, I've already used up some of the stickers in previous setups. I also went ahead and printed out an additional sheet of the third page of the kit, as well as 2 copies of the decorative add-on sheet. I just feel like I need a lot of deco stickers for my spreads this month. I didn't get the functional add-on sheet this time round, so I ended up printing the number strip from a previous kit, as well as some miscellaneous deco stickers. I also printed out some printables from Patreon as usual. There are a total of 4 plaid backgrounds on Patreon for this kit, and I'm hoping to incorporate some of them in my spreads. As usual, we also have a matching 2-page calendar printable for this kit, as well as 1-page calendar printables. I have printed out 3 of them for my setup this month, and I'm doing something different for my weekly spread, which you will see later, so I printed the matching horizontal weekly printable as well. Now that we have seen all the stickers and printables for this theme, let's go ahead and work on the cover page. I first cut both the green and blue plaid background printables into half. I wasn't sure how I wanted the cover page to look like, but after watching Kayla's live stream last week, I was inspired to do something similar. I've ripped one half of each background into 2, which gives me 4 strips of the plaid pattern to paste on each side of the spread. I played around with the combination before deciding to alternate the colors in the end, and once I was happy with this combination, I pasted these strips onto my page. For the month title, I decided to bring back my silicone alphabet stems. This time though, I had some trouble with the saturation of the ink. You can see that some letters were darker than others, but I still decided to use them for the code page as well, at least for the subjects in the code. For the year, I just stamped the numbers using my regular wooden stamps. I wanted to cover up the spot where I accidentally inked earlier, so I cut a small piece from an off-cut paper to size and pasted it over my mistake, and now it looks good as new. I was still not happy with the very light ink from the silicone stems, so I darkened the letters using my Artex acrylic marker, and I hated it, so I ended up covering it with the rest of that off-cut paper and re-stamping the month title. This would have been perfect if my letter B was stamped more firmly. I tried to re-stamp it, but it ended up having a double vision effect because it was misaligned, so I ended up just going over the letters using my Pentel brush sign pen, and I think it looks slightly better now. Not what I intended the title to be, but I guess it's okay. Now that the month title is done, it's time to finish the rest of the quote on the left page. I picked this quote because I thought it was such a meaningful quote that sort of matches the theme. I believe it is a Zimbabwean proverb from the Shona tribe. I think there are several ways to interpret it, but I just feel that it's a good reminder for myself. For the rest of the spread, I decorated it with the stickers from the third page of the monthly kit, as well as the decorative add-on sheet. I also had some leftover 3 deco stickers from my August theme, so I added those to this setup as well. I didn't really think much about what to place where, so this was definitely based on the feels. That's why I printed out additional deco sticker sheets for this month. I wanted to make sure that I had enough stickers to last me for the entire month, so I wouldn't have to worry about limiting the number of stickers for each page. I'm not too entirely sure of the look of the cover page, but for now, let's move on to the next spread, which is my monthly overview spread. As usual, I'm using the 2-page calendar printable for my monthly overview because I'm just too lazy to count all the boxes and dots. I also don't mind too much if the printable is on straight or not this month. I wonder if it's because I'm not entirely sure if I want to continue bullet journaling next year, but that's a planner talk for another day. For the heading, I'm using a brown Artex acrylic marker, and I'm just writing the dates using my Sakura Pigma Micron fine liner. This monthly calendar is for everything that is happening this month, like any events, appointments, and so on. For now, I'm just adding the date for Black Friday and also the date for when this video goes up. And that is it for my monthly overview. Let's go into the different calendars for specific purposes next. I feel like I'm so used to having a vertical sidebar sticker in every monthly kit that it trips me up to have a kit without it this month. So I have to improvise and make a sidebar myself. I'm sticking the vertical number strip about 3.5 cm away from the left side of the page and writing the initials of the days of the week next to it in alternating colors using my Staedtler fine liners. The washi tape at the side is from an older Simply Gilded subscription box, I think, and I've added more of the deco stickers along the washi tape. On the right side, I'm making a Dutch door as usual, making sure that the sidebar I made as well as the number strip are visible on the other side of the Dutch door. And I'm repeating the same process over on the right side, though I tried to alternate the stickers a bit to make it look a bit more varied. At the bottom and top of the spread, I'm also adding this brown heart and vine washi from Simply Gilded. I think this was also from an older sub box, and I'm doing the same thing on the next page as well. For the first part of the Dutch door, I'm using the large header sticker with the moose. This spread is for my TV calendar for all the shows starting, releasing or ending this month. And for the next part of the Dutch door, this will be for my daily review page. I am combining my daily review and gratitude spreads into one this month. So this spread will be for anything I want to track, like medication side effects, as well as any gratitude I want to include. But for now, I'm just including the 2 ongoing shows ending this month, and we'll move on to the next spread. I'm sticking one of the one-page calendar printable on the left page, and this calendar will be for my content calendar. This spread has been working well for me, so I'm keeping it the same as usual. I do have some videos coming up, but it all depends if I can edit them on time. I also have to catch up on my latest media journal video since I missed that one last week as I was sick. So please stay tuned for that. On the right page, I'm keeping it blank as it's for any notes I want to take note of while editing. The washi I use on the page is the Buffalo Plaid Twinkle Garland set. Moving on to the next spread. These 2 spreads always come as a pair in my bullet journal. So I'm using the classic buffalo and colorful blanket plaid, pumpkin and bows, washi tapes at the bottom of each page, while the washi tapes at the top are the baby buffalo plaid drip washi from Cookie Sticker Co. The spread on the left is my weekly TV schedule spread, and for the days of the week, I'm alternating the stickers from the freebie sheet. I chose the 2 header stickers with plaid backgrounds so that it looks like the spreads are meant to be a pair. The spread on the right is for my Stream It Now page, which is essentially my TV shows tracker, and you can take a peek at what shows I am currently watching weekly. This list will definitely change once we get into the middle of the month as new shows begin and current shows end. But now that my weekly TV schedule spread is filled up, let's move on to the next spread, which is another TV calendar. I have missed including this spread in my bullet journal, so I am bringing it back this month. How this calendar is different from my earlier TV calendar is that this is for me to plan which days to watch a certain show, that is when to binge watch, while the earlier one is just for premiere and end dates. So for example, while I will put Mr. Plankton's premiere date in the earlier calendar, this is where I will actually plan when to start and complete it. For the page on the right, I'm using the soft cream and blush pink plaid pumpkin washi, as well as another of the baby buffalo plaid. This spread will be for my brain dump page, and this time I remembered to make a script sticker for it. Now that it's done, let's move on to the next spread. I'm using the red and black buffalo plaid twinkle garland and lights washi again for the left page. To divide the page into 2, I added 2 of the wood stickers in the middle of the page. For the headers, I opt to use the flags from the monthly kit along with some deco stickers at the bottom of each column. The column on the left is for my monthly tasks, and the column on the right is for my maybe next or to be watched list. Shout out to Erin Smith for coming up with that name. I am also adding the circular checklist from the freebie sheet to each column. For the page on the right, I'm using another of that one-page calendar printable, but if you notice, there are actually 6 rows on this calendar, whereas the previous calendar only has 5 rows, which means this calendar is perfect for a month month with 6 weeks like December. So yes, this calendar is for next month's monthly overview. I didn't include this page in October's setup and immediately regretted it. This is a space for me to take note of upcoming events and tasks for next month so that I can prepare this month. And that is the last spread for my monthly setup. Let's move on to the first weekly spread for the month. Since the first week of October only has 3 days, I'm keeping this weekly spread simple by doing my standard weekly style. So I'm adding the same twinkle garland set to the top and bottom of the spread before dividing each page into 2. For each day, I'm adding the flag stickers at the top, and on top of the flags, I'm pasting some leftover day stickers from the farmer's market kit. The date numbers are from another set I made using the Planning with K fonts again. I am undecided on what to do for the first column. Usually this will be for weekly tasks, but I'm not sure if I need that for only 3 days. But moving on to the next weekly, I am experimenting with a different style of weekly this week. So I'm adding the baby buffalo plaid drip at the top and the forest rainbow red washi from xomamaplans at the bottom, before dividing the page into 7 rows where each row is 2.5 cm or 5 dot grid spaces. This layout is inspired by the Hobonichi Weeks layout. I wanted to see if I could use this style of weekly, and if it works, then I might consider another weeks for 2025. I am still undecided if I want to continue bullet journaling. Like maybe I'm getting bored with it, or I find it draining to set up every month, but nothing is set in stone yet, so I might change my mind again. But for this weekly spread, I'm adding any day specific task or event on the left. I won't be showing any events, but you can see how it works with my TV schedule. For the page on the right, I'm doing what's called a rolling weekly or Alistair method. I don't really know what's the difference, but I will write all my weekly tasks and migrate them with a single arrow instead of writing the same thing over and over again if I do not get it done on that day. But in case this layout doesn't work, I have a backup weekly spread courtesy of Planning with K's Printable Weekly on Patreon. This has less space than what I'm used to, so hopefully I won't have too many things on my list, but I'm really hoping the rolling weekly works as it has worked well for me in the past. And that is everything for November. Here's the final flip through. I was quite unsure about this theme because I'm not really familiar with it, but I think this setup turned out not too bad. I'm still thinking about my 2025 planner lineup. Hopefully this will be the month that I finally finalize it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments your theme for November, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!